What's going on, my Century Galaxy? It's the Central Man here, so back again with another episode of the MCU movie review series. So today I'm reviewing the first movie of Phase 3 of the MCU, that is Captain America Civil War. This movie was released in April of 2016. I saw it at the time with my friends, liked it, and I haven't saw this movie ever since. I saw it again recently on the Disney Plus app, and my opinions on this movie kind of slightly changed. A lot of people think it's overrated and a mixed bag. I kind of agree with them. This is a mixed bag. This is the weakest out of the three Captain America movies. For me, I rank them to best to worst, between First Avenger until Civil War. The best movie for me, out of the three Captain America movies, we got First Avengers number 1, Winter Soldier's number 2, and this movie, Civil War, is number 3. It takes the bronze medal. This is kind of like, this is the aftermath from Age of Ultron. This is basically an Avengers movie instead of a solo Captain America movie. It's basically Avengers versus Avengers. I think Cap is basically a secondary character of his own movie. I don't feel like he's the star in this movie. It's just like very disappointed. We got a return of characters and also introduce of new characters will set up into future movies throughout the rest of Phase 3. So we got we got the original cast of from the previous two movies, from the previous phase, Phase 2. So we got Chris Evans as Captain America. We got Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, Don Cheadle as War Machine, Anthony Mackie as Falcon, Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton Hawkeye. Paul Rudd return as Ant-Man. Elizabeth Olsen return as Wanda Maximoff. Scarlet Witch. Paul Bettany return as Vision. James Buchanan Barnes, Bucky Barnes return as the Winter Soldier. That's played by Sebastian Stan. 10 previous characters return for this movie and introduce new characters. So we got the introduction as Black Panther, played by the late Chadwick Boseman. Tom Holland really actually made his debut in the MCU as Spider-Man. Sorry, I say return, but he actually debuted on this movie. We got Daniel Bruhl debut as Zemo. He's kind of like the baddie in this movie. Oh yeah, and I forgot John Slattery return as Howard Stark. I'll get to that plot a little bit later on. We got Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter. These are the return characters. Yeah, the three new characters in this movie has to be, or four. Daniel Bruhl as Zemo. You got Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. And Martin Freeman as Everett Ross. And also we got William Hurt return as Thunderbolt Ross. We haven't saw that character since the Incredible Hulk movie in 2008, the second movie of Phase 1. It was the first two movies of the MCU. We haven't seen it ever since. Because they went a different direction because Edward Norton left. I don't want to get into it. What's my review of Incredible Hulk? That was basically, to this day, it's my most popular video on this channel. Anyway, so, yeah, Cap is just basically a secondary character of this movie. It's focused on the Sokovian Accords. So before that, you had this first battle scene between the Avengers and Rumlow. And also another character returned. You got Frank Grillo return as Brock Rumlow, a.k.a. Crossbones, after the events. This movie is setting up. This movie is sequels of two movies, Age of Ultron and also The Winter Soldier. Anyway, yeah, you got Frank Grillo return as Brock Rumlow, Crossbones. He got killed 10 minutes into this movie, and it was a disappointing to see him getting killed off. It's like, I like Frank Grillo. I think he played a good role in this character in Winter Soldier and also in this movie for a cup of coffee. He got killed. He said about I'm going, you're going with me. Well, I think he's trying to kill himself, and then Wanda basically levitate him. Unfortunately, he kind of went through a building and destroyed really killed a lot of people in that building. and that set up the Sokovian Accords because the Avengers are kind of like a threat. And you had, what was it? Thunderbolt Ross showing footage of basically destroying buildings in different cities. Like it's like 3 scenes from 3 different movies, from First Avengers from 2012. I'm guessing like there was the helicarrier kind of crash in Washington. That was in Winter Soldier, and also now in the previous movie from they kind of destroyed Sokovia. That was in Age of Ultron, the movie from the previous year in 2015, and now they just basically, Wanda basically accidentally killed a lot of people in a building in Nigeria. It got that facial reaction, facial reaction of Wanda, upset and distraught. I think it's a good decision. Cast Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, and also her accent kind of like change, like in Age of Ultron, she was spoken in a Eastern European accent, and you can tell her accent kind of gaved out in this movie. You can tell like they kind of ditched her Sokovian accent and used her just a normal accent, in was it Infinity War? She appeared a little bit in Endgames, and now in WandaVision. It's just. Yeah, I think it could be her fault. It might give her like sore throats. I don't know. Maybe the character living in America end up like she's got a bit of a twang of her accent. Her old accent's kind of losing her old accent. Could be the reason. So, and speaking of WandaVision, they kind of like this one scene between her and Vision. It's kind of like planting more seeds towards WandaVision, like the death of Pietro from Age of Ultron, and now this with Vision. So that's really building the foundation of WandaVision. That was basically kicking off Phase 4. Anyway, so they end up like, the Sokovian, with the Sokovian Accords, Cap did not signed, and they end up getting arrested in the process. And also, you got this, Tony, introduced, like, the death of Tony's parents, that's, what's her name, Maria and Howard Stark, played by John Slattery and Hope Davis. I think that's an introduction of Tony's mother, because before that, they never mentioned Tony's mother, just mostly his dad in the previous movies, played by the 2 actors, Dominic Cooper and John Slattery. John Slattery plays the older version of Howard, and Dominic Cooper plays the younger version in, First Avenger, and also in Agent Carter, the spin-off show after First Avenger from the movie from 2011. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to return to Bucky Barnes. He's kind of like a good guy in this movie because he was brainwashed. You got Zemo, who's basically the main baddie in this movie. It's a damn shame how Frank Grillo's character got killed off. It's a bit a disservice of his character, because I wish that they add more time to his character, but unfortunately they're going in that different direction. Zemo is basically this manipulative type of person, basically, because he blames the Avengers because his family got killed in Sokovia, because Sokovia basically got blown up at Age of Ultron. So basically after they captured Cap and Sam and Bucky and Chala, introduced of Black Panther. Is it necessary to bring Black Panther in this movie, because they set up his own movie in 2018, 2 years later? So you can call it an Avengers movie, because there is no Hulk and there is no Thor in this movie, because Hulk flying off from he left the planet off, he arrived the Queen Jet and fly towards Nick says to Natasha that he fly towards Fiji, but instead he fly to another planet. You won't see him until Ragnarok. Same as Thor. You see he's finding the Infinity Stones. You won't see those characters ever again until Ragnarok. That'll be the following year. It was the fourth movie of Phase 3. And also no return of Pepper Potts. When Tony was in his, I think he's doing his, I don't say he's doing his own school. It's basically, was it a graduation fund? I don't know. I think it's his own scholarship. I don't know it was all about. And also he brings up Pepper's name. I'm guessing like Pepper's not haven't show up. I'm guessing like Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't think he kind of she came back in the end of Homecoming. I'm guessing it has to be a contract thing because I'm guessing like the character, him and Tony kind of broke up because Tony is Iron Man once again after the events of Iron Man 3. That could be the reason. So and it introduced this Maria, or was it called Marion Sharp, because he told Tony that his son got killed in Sokovia because that's the reason why they did the Sokovian Cuts, because they have to hold him responsible. So yeah, and also Zemo is the one who really blew up a building, the UN building in Vienna, killing Inchanka. That's played by John Carney. He's kind of like this African actor. I thought it was Forrest Whitaker's character, but instead he's not that old, Forrest Whitaker. But anyway, so he got killed in the UN because they're in the UN building in Vienna. Alongside, you see like Inchala, that was a good introduction to him in this movie in the MCU, holding his dead dad, and he appeared as a ghost in Black Panther. And another character also coming back in Black Panther was Martin Freeman's character, that's Everett Ross. I don't know the related, Thunderbolt Ross and Everett Ross. I think they're two different characters. That could be the reason. So, anyway, and also they introduced Spider-Man in this movie, that played by Tom Holland, and it really got me off guard, because at the time I thought Sony got the rights of the Spider-Man character because they did the two Amazing Spider-Man movies in 2014 and 2012. But I'm guessing at the time they did not do the third movie. Thank fucking God they didn't do Amazing Spider-Man 3. I was like, if I see a trailer of Amazing Spider-Man 3, I'll go fuck that and give it a miss. But no, they kind of put Spider-Man into the MCU. They got the character into this universe. It won't be the MCU without Spider-Man, because you need Spider-Man. It's like the DC universe without Superman and Batman. His performance, Tom Holland's performance was good. He was a bit annoying, but I think he did his good job. There's a lot of people who don't like Tom Holland. They kind of shit on him, but I kind of liked him. I'll talk about more about him when I review Homecoming. But I like Tom Holland. His suit was basically I think it's a reference to the old Spider-Man cartoon from the 1970s. I'm guessing. Yeah, he was kind of like there was one reference he does about Star Wars. It was the Empire Strikes Back. He said to like, guys, but do you remember the old movie? Empire Strikes Back. And also got Don Cheadle as War Machine. Rhodey, and Rhodey says, where do you find him, Tony? And he said like, we're not carbon date him. I can't carbon date him? He was putting some kind of pun. Says I don't know. I don't carbon date him. He's trying to say, it's just like, I don't know. And also there was funny lines in the airport scene. That was good. My favorite scenes in this movie has to be the airport scene, and also with the final battle scene between Tony, Bucky, and Steve in the end. So everyone had their moments in this airport scene. This reminds me of like a multi-man tag team match. Because two wrestlers starting this match, they tagged in, they did the moves, and so on and so forth. Everyone had their moments, and like heroes that they've never met before. You have this scene between Clint and T'Challa, Black Panther. He said, "Hey, I'm Clint." That's Jeremy Renner's character, Hawkeye. And then you got Black Panther says, "I do not care." And then years later in Endgames, you have Black Panther saying, "Clint," because at the time he doesn't care. And also you got this funny scene with Bucky and Sam, and also with Spider-Man. And then you got like Bucky says, "What the hell's going on? Who the hell is that?" Was it? And Sam says like, "Everyone's had the gimmick." It's just he has some funny liners, and you got Spider-Man marking out Bucky's mechanical arm, and also he said about like he kind of give comments about the wings of Falcon's wings. Is that carbon fiber? And Sam says, what's coming out with you? You talked about his webs, and he keeps talking and says, I know you're not in a fight before because usually we don't talk. He doesn't understand. He doesn't start fighting. Yeah, he was about talking too much, blah blah blahing. Tom Holland's character, but yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. And also, why Tony recruit him? And also, you got Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. My first exposure to her, my first impression with her, she's a bit too young to be Aunt May, because Aunt May was supposed to be an old woman, ages between 60 or 70s. I look at her age, she's 57 right now, but I think back then she was about in her early 50s, but she's not that young, but at the same time not that old, but it's kind of like, a bit of a mixed bag. I'll explain if I review Homecoming, but it's the first exposure to Spider-Man because they kind of ignore the origin. We don't need to see the origin, otherwise they keep beating it to death. They ignore the origin in the Incredible Hulk movie from 2008. They ignore the origin movie from Batman vs Superman, that movie from the same year in 2016. So yeah, he kind of marked out basically Bucky's arm, and also you got Red Wing that was introduced in this movie. You got Natasha fighting between him, basically Romolo's lackeys. One say he's got a threat to drop it. It was the capsule, but he got shot by Red Wing, and yeah, you had Natasha say thanks, and Sam says don't thank me. Don't thank me, and Natasha says, I'm not gonna thank it. It's Red Wing. I'm still not going to thank it. I kind of laughed and popped. It's the first exposure to Red Wing. You won't see that thing again. I don't think it appeared in Infinity War. It appeared in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. I just covered all the episodes on this channel. Go and check it out. Anyway, so everyone had the everyone had the moment in the airport scene. It's one of my favorites. And also, Red Wing showed up minutes later in the airport fight. He kind of drags Spider-Man away from the building, and then Bucky says, "You should have done it. You should have done it earlier." And then Sam says, "I hate you." There's some bickering between Sam and Bucky. We won't see that until Falcon and the Winter Soldier show 5 years later. And also, and also we got the one downer of this movie, not like in a cringy bad way, but in a sad way, because while they're arguing about this Sokovian Accord, Steve got like this text message that he found out that Peggy has passed away, and we've got this really an upset facial reaction of Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, upset because her love of her life has passed away. You won't see Peggy again till Endgames in the time traveling sequence when Steve traveled back in time. They dance in that final scene of that movie because they never got that dance because that they were supposedly having that date. Unfortunately, he got frozen through a block of ice. It's a damn shame because and also minutes later you had Steve kissing Peggy's niece Sharon. I think that's more like a friendship kiss, not like a love interest kiss. It's like this is the third girl in the 3 Captain America movies that Cap kiss. Steve kissed Peggy in the first one, Natasha in the second movie, and Sharon in the third movie. It got that facial reaction with Sam and Bucky. That was funny. Anyway, and also there was reference of can you move? Bucky asked Sam, "Can you move your seat up?" I think they kind of bring it up in the third episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. My memory is kind of like fuzzy because it's been like 5 years since I saw this movie. Anyway, you won't see Peter Parker again until Homecoming. That'll be the movie the following year. And you won't see. Everyone got arrested because of the outlaws. It's very funny. Cap he's fighting wars in the first two movies. In the first movie, he was in World War II fighting against Red Skull and Hydra. Second movie, the same, fighting Hydra with Romlo and Bucky before when he was brainwashed, and Alex and the Peers. And also he fights the Loki and the Chitauri in in the first Avengers, and also Ultron in the second Avengers movie. In this movie, he's got nothing left to fight in this movie. It was a bit disappointed. And also Tony was a bit of an asshole, and also he's trying to put Peter in a bad way because he kind of like blamed for the death of was it Charles Spencer? Charles Sharp's character. You got that boy. You got killed in Sokovia, but he's pointing like Peter in harm's way. Yeah, he's got powers. He can fight his own battle, because he's got like they got web shooters, man. They never got the character right because Spider-Man doesn't really need web shooters. It depends who's writing the character, because I think Sam Raimi got the character right, because the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man always shoots without web shooters. Why Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland have to use web shooters? Their characters using web shooters. I don't get it. And also, the problem is, he doesn't have any Spidey senses. That's the whole point. Why do you think Spider-Man's catchphrase is like, my Spidey senses is tingling? It's like Superman not hearing, voices miles away, sense of danger. I simply don't get it. Anyway, so the favorite fight scene. I like this fight, and also you got like Ant-Man's like he was fucking giant. There's one scene like he made Cap throwing like this small truck, and they made it big, and he thought it was a water truck, but instead it was caught in fire. Anyway, and also there was funny one-liners with you had. Tony said to Clint, "Hi Clint, maybe retirement doesn't suit you. Tired of golf. I play 18, shot 18. It's kind of good, funny punts. And also I like the fight scene. And also there was one swerve into this final battle of this movie between Tony, Bucky, and Steve, because Bucky killed Tony's parents, because they build it up going into this plot of this episode in the time traveling sequence with flashback sequence I'm trying to say, but with with Bucky got brainwashed by Hydra in Russia, and also crashed someone's car, got like this blue packet, I don't know what it is, and also find out he killed the Starks, killed Maria and Howard Stark, because Howard recognized Bucky because they fought in World War II, and Bucky basically hit him multiple times until he's dead, and also strangling Maria, and that led to, Tony grief. Yeah, and also Sam is the one who frames Bucky because he, there's one slightly battle between Black Panther and Bucky says, I didn't kill him. Why do you run? And they find out it was Sam was the one. And also he's trying to kill himself, trying to shoot him because Charlie wanted to kill him. But instead, Samo grabbed the gun and tried to shoot him, trying to blow his brains out, but he stopped him. He went in jail. You won't see him until Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the sequel to Civil War. And also, they didn't really get a chance to flesh out his character. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier kind of fleshed up his character more, because he in the TV show he was a billionaire. He was he's a baron. In Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, the show I just covered, go and check it out. Anyway, because Tony wants to fight Bucky for killing his parents, Steve wants to be the peacemaker. Because I think because Steve is Bucky's friend and Tony's Steve's friend. It's kind of like, and also there's one scene says, one line in the movie, in that fight in the bunker scene between Steve, Tony and Bucky, Steve says, "He's my friend," and Tony says, "So am I." And also, it was it was badass. This is way better than the Batman vs Superman fight from, it was a month ago. This was 1 month, I think it took place 1 month after the DC Extended Universe movie, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. Don't like it, because I think that fight between Batman and Superman was rushed. Anyway, so the fight scene was good. You had Steve beating the fuck out of Tony. He kind of stabbed Tony in the chest with the shield. It's funny that when Walker did it in Falcon and Winter Soldier show in episode 4, he killed a guy. He fucking killed the fucking guy, stabbed the shield through the chest. When Steve did it to Tony, he kind of stabbed it through its reactor core. And also in the end, yeah, Tony says, you don't deserve the shield. My father made that shield. I think the reason why he did that, he ended up giving up the shield because I think what Tony says, like, you betray me, you also betray my father. That could be the reason. So, anyway, and also Rhodey got paralyzed. He got seriously injured in this movie. This was after the airport scene. The fight in the airport, the flight. It was a fight battle in the sky. Sam kind of blasted him out of the sky. He ended up with a severe injury. He ended up with I think it was a spinal injury. It's not like he's dead. He came back in Infinity War, and also you had the prison scene after you got Sam, Clint, Wanda, and Scott, Ant-Man, all arrested. And also you got you basically had Clint, clapping sarcastically. He calls the Futurists, and also you had Scott with that remarks with onto Tony like Hank Pym never trust. I think he said Hank Pym was right, never trust a Stark, and then Tony says, "Who are you?" And Scott really shot himself in the foot again because he got out of jail. This was in the last movie of Phase 2, that was Ant-Man. He got out of jail, he was a hero again, and then he's back in jail again. He ended up I'll explain again when I review Ant-Man and the Wasp, the movie from 2018. So they end up getting released and free by Cap in the end of this movie, and went on their separate ways. And also I think there has to be a contract thing, because at the time I done my research that I think Chris Evans' contract was up, and he signed a new deal to keep him on to those 2 Avengers movies. It won't be the Avengers without Captain America. Natasha is also laying low because of the Sokovia Accords. I think she betrayed, helping Cap escaped, and also in Infinity War. And also, Cap grew the beard, Natasha dyed her hair blonde. I think that's her natural hair color, Scarlett Johansson's, because she have to. I don't know if that's a wig or she have to dye her hair ginger. I don't know which one she's better off, a red hair or a blonde hair. I'm talking about Scarlett Johansson. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. I covered most of it. It set up 2 movies going into the rest of Phase 3. Set up Spider-Man Homecoming, that'll be in the following summer of 2017, and also Black Panther. They don't need because Black Panther don't really need an origin movie. He was kind of there. I think it was kind of bloated, very bloated movie. With too many casts, that could be the reason. Now it's just more like a cash grab situation movie. It's there for the cash grab. But yeah, it was a bit underwhelming, but it was a fun, enjoyable movie. And also in the post-credit scenes, you had basically Bucky got frozen in ice. He was in Wakanda. You won't see Bucky again until Infinity War. 2 years later. And also with Peter with his new gadget. I'm guessing Tony let him keep the suit. He had this conversation between him and his Aunt May. Talk about this Steve dude and his friend is big, a very big dude. I understand because trying to keep his identity secret, but unfortunately his identity was gave away in Homecoming. You have to wait. That'll be another future movie review for another time. So I think that was it. Thunderbolt Ross was there. That was the last time we see him ever again. I don't think we don't see, I think he might show up in She-Hulk. That'll be the 4th TV show of Phase 4. That'll be in I'm guessing I'll be in 2022. Well, late 2021, early 2022. We have to wait and find out. So, or maybe I don't know. Anyways, I think I covered most of it. Yeah. So I give it the star rate for this movie. I give it a 3 stars. Yeah, it was yeah. Don't really take this movie seriously, but I think it's more of a popcorn entertainment film. I like the two fight scenes, the airport fight scene and also the fight scene between, in I think it was in Russia between Bucky, Steve, and Tony. But besides that, it was a bit, it was nothing special, wasn't fantastic, but it was a very bloated cast. They don't really need to be in that movie. They could, I think it was better off doing like a 2-part film. I glad they did Avengers a 2-part movie. Infinity War in 2018 and in 2019 Endgame. So it's just like, it's just what it is. But yeah, I liked it. It wasn't fantastic, but it was an enjoyable movie. So yeah, I covered most of it. So yeah, that's my review of and also the Everett Ross character. A guy didn't use him that well. Didn't use him too much in that movie. They used him. He appeared a lot in Black Panther. He was okay. He wasn't like a terrible a character in this movie and also in Black Panther. That's just me. I'll talk about that character when I review Black Panther. So yeah, that's my review of Captain America: Civil War. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, Marvel videos, and more. And also click the notification bell. Yeah, next up, we're reviewing Doctor Strange. That'll be in late 2016. That'll be next time. So the format for this, for right now, it won't be every weekend because I'm trying to keep it like a month time. Trying to keep it. So I started this time in late April. So it's gonna be until I think this show is going to end in probably late May, early June. So buckle up, people. So it's gonna be a good month to review, all Phase 3 movies of the MCU throughout of the end of April and the rest of May until the beginning of June. So yeah, the next movie I'm reviewing will be Doctor Strange. That will be this weekend, so stay tuned. This movie review will be it'll be at the end of April. It'll be later on. It'll be the end of this week. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, folks.